Hello everybody and welcome to the final round of your GP Anniversary Championship live today here from Silverstone. There's no better place to end this championship than the home of British motorsport. My name's Liam Jenkins. I'll be calling all of the action for you as it unfolds with the legendary Lotus 72, a car which redefined an era in its own right, and we'll touch a little bit more on that as time goes on. But a couple minutes left now in this qualifying session, with Sky 1 currently in pole position, Jim Hall in second, Boss Hog third, Geraint in fourth, Kelsey G in P5, and that rounds out your runners for today. The entire field at the moment separated by a whopping 23 seconds, but only 6 seconds between P1 and 4. So Kelsey hasn't had the best qualifying session just yet. We'll see if that lap time can be improved as time wears on though. Just making our way through the very tight twisty section of Woodcut Corner there, back on to the National Pit Straight. Very difficult bit of tarmac to manoeuvre around there is what Kelsey is trying to get through right now. You can see a lot of oversteer kicking in the 400 plus horsepower Lotus 72. Through the old National paddock he comes, and he'll be in towards Copse Corner for his third flying lap attempt today. Now he slows right down. Now you can see already then, this is just going to be a consistent run. He's not going for a pole position time. He's just going to try and bring that car home and score some points. His first taste of competitive racing here in Simraceway. He doesn't really want to risk anything too much. Just going for the nice, easy lap times. We'll see if that can improve though, or if he does maybe have a little bit of hidden, we'll say fuel in the tank just for pun's sake, but down the hanger straight in towards Vale and Stowe Corner. Just hitting now about 165 mile an hour. Bringing the car back down into third. Nice and easy through there. You can already see that he's trying to get a much more consistent run compared to those in front of him, with Jim Hall throwing the machine around like it's a wild animal. Let's see what Kelsey can do through the final couple of corners, out of the last chicane and onto the final pit straight. Then down the international pit straight comes Kelsey G. Will this be an improvement over the last lap time? Yes, it is. A big improvement. He's now just 10 seconds away. 6 seconds off of fourth and third, who are Boss Hog and Jim Hall. They're separated by about 0.3 of a second, actually. So still maybe a lot of intrigue in racing to come from those two. They're just going through the Maggots and Beckett's complex at the moment. They're on their fourth respective qualifying attempts. Now, Geraint is back in the pit lane, so he will not get another shot at beating this qualifying time. And a qualifying time which leads the way at the moment could well be improved very, very shortly. Down the National Pit Straight comes the current pole sitter of Sky 1. Again, not to be confused with the television channel. But out of Copse Corner, and look how much power is being pushed through that front drivetrain. He really is trying to rack the life out of that car in towards Maggots and Beckett's at 160 mile an hour almost. And you could not ask for a more beautiful car and a more beautiful circuit. This is what the Silverstone Classic reminds me of, and you can just see how gorgeous this sort of scenario is, where you've got a car of this prestige, a circuit with as much history as this one. It really does bring something special to race fans, whether you're a NASCAR fan, an IndyCar fan, a Formula 1 fan, or even an endurance fan. Everyone can appreciate a sight as gorgeous as this one. And the good news is we've still got 3 more races after this one for you tonight, including the A race finale of the 500 to 900, and both the B and the A race on the 900 to 1100 Skillquant. That's coming a bit later tonight. But Sky 1 over the start-finish line. Will this be enough to improve? No, it's not. He stays on pole position by 2.1 seconds. Jim Hall stays third, Boss Hog fourth, and Kelsey G, the last man on circuit, brings his way through the last few turns here at Silverstone in this 10-minute qualifying session. He brought the gap down dramatically last time. I wonder if he'll be able to repeat something of the same substance here today. Flings the car inward bound. I think everyone can already see that he's just going for the consistency. 7 laps of Silverstone is still not an easy task. There's a lot to be, I think, thought about in the post-qualifying discussions. But over the line he comes, and he doesn't bring the time down. So it's Sky 1 on pole. Second place goes to Geraint. Third, Jim Hall. Fourth, Boss Hog. And fifth is Kelsey G. Hello everybody and welcome back live to a gorgeous Silverstone circuit for the final round of the GP Anniversary Championship before we excel into August with what could be our most exciting championships to date. We've got one more round to go out with a bang on. Let's see what the guys can do. Sky 1 on the outside of turn number 1, a big launch by the pole sitter, and Geraint is going to be left for dust there as they swarm down into the first corner for the opening time today. And you've just got to wonder that is that going to be a good call or no by Jim Hall and Boss Hog. They didn't go side by side. They were the two closest cars in qualifying in terms of pace. And in the race, 7 laps with about 2 minutes on each. They need to try and make a move sooner rather than later. And a big look up there by Jim, in fact. And already the race is starting to take shape as they go down the Wellington straight. It's Sky 1 that leads from Geraint. Then it's Boss Hog and Jim Hall who are now side by side. A big mistake there from Jim. Very lucky not to make contact with Boss Hog, and luckily for him, his race is going to be able to just hold on that little bit longer. Almost hit the rear end there. He's getting very feisty, isn't he, now behind that rear end. It's all about just waiting and biding your time here as they go down the National Pit Straight for the first time today then. Through they go, and now comes the most exciting part. One of the best corners on the Silverstone circuit, old or new. It's Copse Corner. Flying through at about 100 miles an hour you go in the Lotus 72 car. And Boss Hog may have lost a bit of time there. Sky already has a 19-second lead over his nearest, well, this battle for third and fourth at least. And now Jim Hall cuts in. He may have to give that one back. I think four wheels may have been off the circuit. Let's see what the outcome of the fight is going to be though, because Boss Hog now in fourth. Looking particularly confused there as they go down hanger for the opening time today. Let's just see if there will be a marshal's verdict or no. It looked a bit of an aggressive cut to say the least, but don't forget Kelsey G still there waiting to pick up any mistakes by the drivers in front of him. With only being 4 of them, he could still realistically have a chance to win if everything goes his way. But now they make their way out of there. Big look at there by Jim, and Boss almost goes up the inside before that one was cut short. And out of Club Corner, they were very lucky now. That could have been a disastrous error there for Jim Hall. He was very, very fortunate to close that door as early as he did. Otherwise, there could have been hell to pay. And again, he's struggling, isn't he? But keep an eye on the leaders. 3 seconds apart of Geraint and Sky 1 at the moment. And with Silverstone having plenty of straights. Obviously, you've got the National Pit Straight and the International. Then you've got the Wellington Straight, which the cars are encountering now, and the Hangar Straight, the longest straight on the circuit. Means that it's all about drag reduction and a bit of slipstreaming as well. And if Geraint can get close enough, maybe within 2.5 seconds, then he may have a shot at trying to get a pass going into Vale Corner. But to do that, he may have to be extremely lucky because Sky 1 holding his own out front at the moment, 5 seconds clear. In just that sector, he's gained an astronomical amount of time. Down the old pit stretch once again. Keep an eye on the Boss Hog and Jim Hall battle as well. Jim Hall just in front at the moment, showing no signs really of letting up. Through Copse, and then Kelsey still P5. Big rocket there for Jim. So we need to keep an eye on what's going on with Sky 1. So 12 seconds now as they go down the Hangar Straight. Sky 1, we knew it was quick during qualifying, but this is just relentless pace. I think what we need to do next up is definitely take a look on board with Sky 1 and see just where he's gaining all this astronomical speed from. He's making his way through the final corners now, so it would be a good idea to join him on board. Let's see what our cameraman Carlos can do for us then. Oh, and a big lock up there, maybe not such a good time to join him on board as he's really flinging that car around down the International Pit Straight and into Abbey Corner for the 3rd time today then. Down to about 120 mile an hour. Fling the car to the right hand side of the circuit because you go through Farm and in towards Village and enter the loop. Very slow part of the circuit, possibly the slowest on the Silverstone track. Added just a few years ago to spice up the racing. It certainly lived up to the expectations. Bit of oversteer there from the classic Lotus 72. The car which has won 2 Drivers' Championships and 3 Constructors during its reign of dominance. Definitely one of the most effective Formula 1 cars of all time. Sky 1 now flings his way through Wellington into Brooklands and he's going to get ready for Luffield's corner. Goes a little bit Larry there. Gets over to the left-hand side of the track. Very long apex at Luffield. You want to bring the car in as late as you can to make sure you get optimum drive out of the corner, going on to the national pit straight. So down he comes then, speeds of about 155 to 160 mile an hour are what the car's going to hit before suddenly downshifting in towards Cops. You can just see there, down to 4th, keeps at 115, gently kisses the apex with the left-hand front tyre and goes into the fastest complex of the circuit. Maggots and Beckett stays in 5th, gently down to 4th to keep the revs just a tad high. Out of Beckett's he comes and makes his way now through Chapel Curve and down the Hanger Straight. The best opportunity to slipstream, and even now that gap's still increasing. He's 14 seconds clear over Geraint at the moment, so really is having a field day out there. He's not having a race, he's having a time trial in the lead of this one. So through Stowe Corner and in the run down towards Vale, again another prime opportunity to get alongside a competitor, maybe position yourself on the inside or the outside, then you'll be on the inside of the corner, coming out of Club. Oh, he spun! And we've jinxed it by saying about how amazing that lap was. I had a feeling, oh, he spun again as he's on the grass! And Geraint is closing in on him like a great white shark. Halfway through the race, and Sky One's lead has been cut in half. He's got to be careful now. He's made that mistake once. If he makes it again, he's going to be in some mighty fine trouble as Geraint hammers down on him. Still 4 seconds apart though, Jim Hall and Boss Hog. But my goodness me, you think you've seen it all here in Simraceway, and even then, we get our first ever hot lap commentator's curse. So, sorry about that, Sky One. I did try to warn you a bit earlier on. But even so, it's been a breathtaking race so far. We've only had 3.5 laps. As our day of Simraceway events has officially begun here at Silverstone. Jim Hall remains just about 6 seconds in front, and that gap also reminiscent of the gap between Geraint and Sky One as well. That's Sky One making his way through the national pit straight now, and looking very content with himself indeed, although maybe just a little bit anxious, and who blame him? Very big moment there as well. He's not looking as composed as he was at the start of this race. No, and he's still got quite a long time to go. We're only on lap 4 of 7, which means there's still plenty of time for error. So down Hanger Straight he comes once again, this time with no added pressure from Geraint. The only pressure will be mounting, well that comes from himself, to be honest with you. This is a corner where he almost lost it through Vale, very wide. And you can just see the amount of oversteer that's kicking around in the back wing of that car. This is the corner where he lost it then. Out of Stowe, into Vale. Will he do it again or no? The answer is not quite. So he completes another lap despite going a little bit wide. Going out of the final corner, a 1:56.1 for him. For Geraint, however, the time is a 1:57.9, so still almost 2 seconds slower. Jim Hall in third, about to complete his 4th lap and start lap number 5, leaving us with 3 to go before the first checkered flag of the afternoon. With Jim over the line at 1:59.2, so quite a lot slower there, and a 2-minute point 2 for Boss Hog. Kelsey still about 20 seconds away from completing his 4th lap of the race. And Geraint's not happy there. He's in 2nd, and I think it could just be a sign of resentment to the pace that Sky One has, because he got so close at one stage, didn't get the ideal launch off the line, but has kept him relatively close in check. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough, though, to earn him a victory. He's now nearly 20 seconds adrift. I think he's made an error, yeah. He must have made an error going out of Sector 1. So in between, I think it was at Luffields. I've got a very funny feeling that the problem he encountered was at Luffields, because there's no way Sky One could have pulled out from 6 seconds to about 19 without some sort of error from Geraint. We know Sky One's quick, but I don't think he's quite that quick. Well, I'm sure he would like to tell us otherwise, as he's almost en route to starting his penultimate lap of the first race of the evening. And will we see Sky One in that A race? Still remains to be seen. One man we can expect, though, will be Wacky Pie. A great run of dominance here recently, and I spoke to him earlier on today, looking very confident with the car. You notice he's got some pace. He'll be looking to add another trophy to the cabinet. Whether he can or no remains another question Be sure to catch all of that action live coming up for you very, very shortly. But Jim Hall makes his way through third position and out of Stowe corner towards Vale, which means that Sky is already on his penultimate lap of the afternoon. A 1:54.7, still showing no signs of giving up. That man really is on a charge at the moment. And we'll see if again he can maintain that momentum in towards this last lap and a half or so that he has remaining. So a small update on positions, and still nothing's changed since lap number 1. It's Sky 1 that leads, Geraint now in second place, and way over 10 seconds away. Might not be that far though. There's another error there from Sky. Jim Hall third, Boss Hog fourth, and the rookie Kelsey G stays in P5. Just watching Sky 1's very attacking way of going through the Maggots and Beckett's complex, and he's certainly got his head screwed on tightly now, doesn't want to jeopardise his lead. Very much aware that he's got 23 seconds back to the nearest opponent, who's not been on his pace all afternoon. He does not need to be pushing incredibly hard. All he's got to do is keep his mind focused and let the race come to him. There's about 2 more minutes away, and he will be crowned the winner of the final round of the GP Anniversary Championship. So he's already making his way through a 1:55.4 that time, a bit slower than previously, but in comparison to Geraint's lap time, he's actually about 3 seconds faster still, so he's extended that gap now to almost 30 seconds. I'm wondering, actually, if Geraint has taken his foot off the pedal, because he's 36 seconds clear of Jim Hall. He does not need to be ragging the wheels off the thing, just going to bring it home safely, and you've got yourself a very neat and tidy second position. The gap may have just come down a bit there as Geraint makes his way into Lovefields and Woodcote again, and Sky 1 must be getting pretty anxious right now. It will seem like the longest lap of his life. Let's just see if it's going to be enough to bring him a victory. He's driven well today. In fact, that's an understatement. He's driven incredibly well. A flag-to-flag win is what it's going to be. So under the bridge he goes, down the hanger straight. He's not that far away now, Sky 1, from taking the first win in the first race of the evening. A pole, a fastest lap and a win. This man has been absolutely fantastic today. Another domineering performance that we're used to seeing here in Simraceway now from many different drivers who are making their way up the ranks faster than you can say. Silverstone and Sky 1 is but another face on that list. Bit of oversteer at the final corner, but that won't stop him from driving the perfect race other than a spin. Sky 1 wins the first round, or first race I should say, of the final round of the GP Anniversary Championship. Geraint will be right behind him in second. Jim Hall will be a very duly deserved third place. Fourth place for Boss Hog, and Kelsey G is going to take fifth here in his first ever race in Simraceway. This is top 5, so he can hang his head high. He knows that he's definitely got the consistency there. It's not an easy car to drive. Getting it over the line is a task in itself, and Kelsey G has done well. So Sky 1 to win, Geraint second, Jim Hall third, Boss Hog will take fourth, and Kelsey G takes P5. We'll be right back with you with some more fantastic action live from Silverstone.